Oh, man, if you love the boys' high school hockey tournament, what excitement in the last couple of minutes in St. Paul. They are celebrating at South Suburban Rosemount tonight. Adam Carter's Rosemount, Minnesota, where Rosemount was up 2-1 near the end of the third.
Grand Rapids scored with less than
They
30
pulled
seconds
the goalie.
left. Less than 30 seconds to tie it up, send it to overtime.
2-2, overtime,
and in overtime.
Rosemount comes through. Big city kids, those metro suburban kids, knocking off the hard-scrabbled team from Grand Rapids, the 4-5 seeds. Pretty fun. Man, I always think about this. Chris Cillizza joins us. He's here to talk about Kristi Noem. But Chris, I've got kids who played sports, and high school sports, there is something so final about that game where you're eliminated, where you've spent your whole childhood shuffling your kids off to hockey practice and early morning ice time or whatever. And for me, it was soccer. And then all of a sudden, the clock runs out and it's over. You're like, it's over. It's so it's so shocking as a parent.
I'm already dreading that a little bit. Now, my son wants to play college soccer, so I'm hoping that gives me a 4-year extension if someone wants him to play for them. But yes, I mean, I think it's like an end of an era. Though I will say, I mostly watch the Minnesota high school hockey tournament for the haircuts.
Oh, they did not disappoint.
For the dye jobs, I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, I assume a lot of these kids have prom coming up in the next couple weeks, and I guess if you're like a high school hockey player, you're probably like sort of the stud of the school as it is, so maybe the girls are fine with that. But in my day, if you came to prom with your hair looking like this, I don't think my date would have been very happy about it, you know?
Well, I would say I needed all the help I could get, so I kept my hair however I needed to try to get anyone to agree to go to prom with me.
Chris Cillizza, you right now have very sort of cable news pundit hair, you know, like the official sort of not quite middle-aged white guy hair. Yeah, it's sort of right. That's the bit. What was high school Chris Cillizza? What was your hair like? You got to send me a picture.
Okay, so great question. There does exist a picture online of me in high school, 1994, graduate of high school. This was the 90210 era. So I had the long Brandon and Dylan sideburns, like literally down to past my bottom of my ear. Yeah, it's not a good look. But if you do type Chris Cillizza high school, and there's a black and white picture of me.
Is this from, you went to Georgetown? Is this your old home address on this photo?
This is high school.
All right, I think I have this photo up on our live stream right now. The sideburns are.
Do I look good? Because that's how you'll know.
I mean, it's something. It is something.
I was a product of the culture of the time. How can I make that more clear?
I mean, this is the same. This is my era too. I'm a '93 graduate of high school, so I remember trying to. I think I had those same glasses and the same sideburns. Yeah,
as you can tell, I was super cool in high school.
Oh yeah, the women were all about it. I was the morning announcement guy at my high school. Can you imagine how sexy?
That surprises me not at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The girls were lining up. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hockey player in Minnesota. Hey, I'm the guy who does the morning announcements. It's a 6 of one, half dozen the other.
I went to the state tournament in radio speaking the same time another dude in my high school went to the state tournament in wrestling. And then the following weekend, I run into this guy, Rich, in the hallway. And Rich was like one match and out, and I was like a top placer in state. And Rich was like, man, you did so much better than me. And I'm like, Rich, you can tell your grandkids that you went to the state tournament in wrestling when you were in high school. I went to the state tournament in radio speaking. Like, it worked
Correct.
out fine for you, buddy. Like, don't worry about it. This
You're
is
going to be good, Rich.
All right, let's talk about Kristi Noem. She was fired
Yeah.
today despite the insistence of all of the people texting me that she was promoted.
Oh, come on, people.
Chris, they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. I do
You know,
think
first of all, the job that she was quote-unquote promoted to doesn't even exist yet, number one.
correct.
They're announcing it this weekend. And number two, it sounds like a made-up job that one of the Avengers would do. It's like special envoy to the shield of the Americas. Trust me, being the head of the Department of Homeland Security is more influential, powerful, and important than being the shield of the Americas.
Why was she fired?
You know that movie where it's Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, and he makes that famous line where he says, nobody puts baby in the corner. You know, they're like at a, you know.
It's Dirty
It's
Dancing.
kinda like
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty
moment.
Dancing. I kept thinking Footloose, but I'm just too old.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, and I'll explain why. Donald Trump is the star of the show, okay? Now, you might be an actor that he hires to be in the show, the reality show, but he's the star of the show. And the way that you stay on the show is you make sure you always remember who the star of the show is. And I think Kristi Noem repeatedly did this, but I think it came, it came to a head this week. She was being questioned by John Kennedy, who was a MAGA guy, a senator from Louisiana, not that John Kennedy, the Republican John Kennedy. And he was like asking her about a thing that had been public knowledge, but I don't think people had paid attention to it, which was like DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, had approved this $200 million ad campaign to kind of, in theory, promote DHS, but really to promote Kristi Noem. And I think that Trump was like, wait, what? And Noem had said, oh, well, Trump approved of this. And he gave a quote, Trump gave a quote this morning to Reuters saying, I had no idea about it. And that's you don't put baby in the corner. Trump's the star of the show. You don't use Trump's spotlight to put a shine on your ambitions. So I think Kristi Noem, she wanted to be someone, right? She's a member of Congress from South Dakota. She becomes the governor. They push her really hard to be VP. She doesn't get that. They push her really hard to be in the cabinet. She gets the DHS job. And then she spends a lot of that job kind of doing photo ops where here she is on a horse. Here she is in El Salvador in front of a bunch of prisoners who have been set up for this photo op. Here she is with a gun on the border. And I think the cumulative weight of that, given what we know about how Donald Trump thinks, which is I'm the star of the show, I think probably doomed her.
Here in the Twin Cities, as we talk with Chris Cillizza, political analyst, you can follow his Substack by searching Chris Cillizza. I look at the debacle here in the Twin Cities when it came to the immigration agent surge. And what frosts me about this is this was a strategic choice between the Kristi Noem, Greg Bovino approach and the Tom Homan approach. And the Homan approach would have much more protected President Trump and would have protected the goal of trying to get people who are undocumented out of this country, where the Noem chaos approach absolutely undermined that whole thing and has now, I think, has Americans questioning ICE, Border Patrol policies, all of this stuff, when enforcing the border is very popular by Americans. Deporting people who are here illegally is very popular. And I believe that this is Kristi Noem's fault. Trump signed off on it, but it was her strategy to have chaos.
Oh, 100%. And she's the one who put Bovino inexplicably as the face of this with all his military gear and the coat. So, look, I think that the proximate cause of Noem getting jettisoned today was this. She's too ambitious. She's putting herself above the administration. But you can absolutely not dismiss the hit that she took within the administration and in the eyes of Donald Trump with how they botched the Minneapolis thing. I mean, now I will say to people, he didn't fire her during or after Minneapolis.
Yeah,
now,
true.
part of that is because he didn't want to give in to quote-unquote elite opinion, which is, in my mind, ridiculous, but he didn't fire her after that.
Yep, could have.
He kept her.
Yeah.
And he could have. He absolutely could have. I would say if there was a similar situation with a different president, they probably would have. But I do think it's never, it's like anything else. It's never one thing. Minneapolis did not help her. The constant talk that got re-upped this week in a House hearing yesterday about is she having an affair with her deputy that she didn't deny twice under oath doesn't help. The Minneapolis thing is
with her husband in the
a,
audience too. You're like,
with, oh my!
In the gallery.
Somebody said to me, Kristi Noem had the worst week in watching. And I was like, maybe other than her husband Brian, who was sitting in the audience while she refused to deny that she was having an affair. But, it's a cumulative thing. So it's not any one thing. If Minneapolis never happened, does Noem still have her job? Maybe. But just knowing how Trump thinks, also maybe not, because I think it was kind of like he wanted her out, and then he had seen her replacement, Mark Wayne Mullen, or the guy they've appointed at her, her replacement, Oklahoma senator. He had seen him on TV a bunch over the last few weeks. Trump likes people who are good on TV. Mark Wayne Mullen is out there kind of flacking for Trump's immigration proposals, which, is what Trump really cares about. So it was kind of like, okay, bad week for her with these hearings. Obviously, Minneapolis was a disaster, maybe kind of wanting to get rid of her anyway. And, now I've got this person that I can put in there, too. Yeah. And he's like the rest of us. He likes the shiny new object. He wants somebody new.
Sort of a no-brainer. I was calling for Kristi Noem to be fired 2 days ago, and I didn't expect it was.
I'm surprised she didn't get fired after Minneapolis. I mean, again, the level of incompetence and bad judgment displayed solely by deputizing Greg Bovino as the face and operational lead in Minneapolis should have led for her to be fired. Trump won't fire her for that because it would be conceding publicly he made a mistake. But it's any other administration should have already been gone. So these people who are applauding that Donald Trump got rid of her today, it's like, I mean, I guess, but, she lasted longer than most people would.
Cillizza, who looked beautiful in high school. You can see.
Oh, yeah.
You can see.
Real looker.
You can see these images on our YouTube channel, and you can follow Chris on Substack. We appreciate it. Thanks,
I want credit, Jason, for your ratings bump when people are looking at my photo.
It's going to be huge.
The Cillizza effect, we'll call it.
It's pure sex. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Chris Cillizza with us on CCO. We'll be back in just a minute to talk about whether or not federal agents should be allowed to mask up. Should we ban masks on federal agents? I've changed my view on this. We'll talk about it coming up.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Terrene Dermatology can get you in within 3 weeks. Let me just repeat that because it is so unusual when it comes to a dermatologist. Terrene Dermatology can get you in within 3 weeks. It's Jason DeRusha. I can vouch for this because Terrene Dermatology and Dr. Mohiba Terrene is my dermatologist, and I have reached out through the online portal at Terrene, Tareen, dermatology.com. I have booked appointments for myself with Dr. Terrene at the Roseville office. There are 10 Terrene Dermatology locations all over the Twin Cities metro area. They're in Hudson. They're in Eagan. Roseville is where I go. So many locations, and that size allows for you to get in quickly. In Lakeville, for example, before Terrene showed up, you would have to wait as much as 6 months to get an appointment with the dermatologist. How much do you have to wait now? 3 weeks. It is unbelievable. And, getting in just anywhere is fine. But getting to the best dermatology team in the upper Midwest, now that is something special. I trust Dr. Terrene with myself, with my wife, who just had an emergency appointment yesterday because she had a mark on her face that she was concerned about. She got in. It turned out it was fine. It was nothing to be concerned about. They removed it. Good to go. Peace of mind. Full body skin checkup. If you've never had it, do it. Make your appointment today. Get online. Get in within 3 weeks and let me know how it goes. Tareen, Tareen, dermatology.com.